Hey everyone, it's Nathan Lusk from Warrior with a Pen Games, and today we're going to go a little bit more in depth than we have before with Bloodfist Champions. This is an upcoming game from Warrior with a Pen Games. It is currently only waiting on some artwork to get finished. It's quite a bit of artwork, but as you can see, I've already gotten some of it done. And just to show you how cool some of this is, these are some of the characters from Bloodfist Champions that you can use on your team. This is the Minotaur. The back side of each card just has a black silhouette. And these are the standees that you use while you're playing the game. I've already got a game set up between two different teams. I know that the video is a touch dark, and so it's a little hard to see the color difference, but it's definitely there. One team is green, one team has a tan background. So this battle, this arena combat is going to be between the Juicers and the Unholy Alliance, which are two of the teams available. The Juicers are a human team that take magic potions to become kind of super powerful one way or another. For instance, their characters that this team has, this is actually my friend Kyle's team. These two teams have already played each other once, so they have a little bit of experience already, but Kyle has a Freak, who is the big guy for the Juicer team. That artwork's a little bit dark, but I hope you can see it. The Freak is a gigantic monstrosity. The maximum strength for a character in this game is 7, and he is a full 7 strength, so he's really tough to battle. He also has 2 bulls. Each one, of course, has a different number so that you can tell the difference between them. This is number 10, and then right here is number 5. And bulls have maxed out armor of 10, and that's kind of their special thing. They're decent in a fight. They have a couple of skills that make them better, but they're just a basic strength of 3. And then he also has a speeder here. Speeders have the maximum speed that you can have, which is 10. And then a dasher. Dashers have the maximum agility that you can have, which is 7, just like strength. So that's Kyle's team. My team is the Unholy Alliance. They kind of specialize in being one of the very few teams that gets more than one big guy. They have 3. They're allowed to have 1 troll, 1 ogre, and 1 minotaur. And then their basic characters, who, by the way, all have a strength of 5. I'm sorry, the troll, the ogre, and the minotaur all have a base strength of 5, which is good, not the best, obviously, since the Freak has 7. But they also have these black Wardens, which are their basic characters. Every team has to field at least 2 black Wardens. And they're only a strength of 3, basic armor of 8. So they're pretty soft, they're pretty squishy, they're not super strong or anything. But the whole team is allowed to get mutations, which can make a big difference as the season wears on. So this is the team for the Unholy Alliance. This is all the characters on the field, plus their skills. Of course, on the back, you can see the experience that they've all gained. It's mostly been the Minotaur doing all the damage, although the ogre and the troll are getting close to getting their first level up to become level 2. On Kyle's team, he's got some things written wrong here. The speeder's speed is supposed to be a 10, and that dasher's agility is a 7. Yeah, he's got that. This one's supposed to be only a 4, but we'll worry about that when we get to it if it ever matters. And then here's the experience his characters have gained after 1 game. And so we are ready to go. And I'm going to grab a pen and we will begin. First, teams roll dice to see which team is going to go first. So Kyle's die is a 4. Mine is a 1. Can't even go first when I'm the only one playing, of course. So Kyle, Nathan, I've got a score sheet here that also includes the score from our very first game when these two teams played. And it was actually Kyle running them, not me doing an example, actually him as the team. And I won that game 22-13 was the final score. And it did go to a score in the 16th round. Let's see. Kyle has a cleric. I do not. But I certainly could because I have the money for one. I think I will buy a cleric before the game starts. So we both have a cleric. Neither of us has any cheerleaders to give us rerolls. So there will be no rerolls if anyone rolls poorly. And both of us do have a cleric to keep from dying as the game goes on. And so that's my setup. That's Kyle's setup. And away we go. So this is how the game works. These are not accurate dice because the dice I'm going to have made for this game will be custom. And we'll have 2 of the complete takedown symbols on it. These are just Games Workshop Blood Bowl dice. Yes, that's what it's called. That I kind of used when I was making this game just to give me a good idea of how the dice would work. But we're going to use them here, even though they're not exactly the same as what I'm going to have. What I'm going to have is going to have basically 2 on it that do the maximum knockdown. These are the best that you can roll. And then one of these, which is the second best, one of these, which is the third best, one of these, which is fourth, and one of these, which is fifth. So it's much easier in my game to knock people down than it is in this because you have 2 of the maximum dice. So once you knock someone down, you check their armor. If you're successful at checking their armor, you go on to see how bad you've hurt them. So we're gonna get started. Kyle's team is gonna go first. And so his freak is right here. Oh, and this arena, by the way, is the samurai arena. Even though I don't have samurai playing on it, I just wanted to kind of showcase the artwork on it. It's a really cool arena. It's got some really neat Asian themed buildings and stuff. So here we go to begin turn 1. And we're not going to play the whole game, but we're definitely going to play some of it just so you can get a good feel for this and see how it works. So first, Kyle's freak is stronger than everyone out there. So he's going to use the freak to attack the ogre. So he is stronger than the ogre. He has a 7, while the ogre is only a 5. And my troll does not have cover, so he can't help because he's being canceled by these 2 guys. So it's his 7 versus my 5. Since Kyle is stronger, but he's not more than double, he only rolls 2 dice. But he gets to choose which one he gets. So he's rolling 2 dice. Here we go. He's going to pick this one because that one's a guaranteed knockdown. So he knocks down my troll. The freak will not follow. He's going to stay where he is. He knocks down the ogre. He stays where he is. Now he has to check and see if he broke my armor. So here are those dice. Here we go. He only rolled a 6. The freak has power strike, which doesn't really matter because a 7 isn't close to breaking my armor. So that's good. He did not break my armor. Next, his bull is going to take a swing at my troll. Now, bulls, one of their special skills is called Intrepid. He has a chance to equal my strength if I'm stronger than him. I'm a 5, and he is a 3, so I am stronger than him, which means he has 2 chances to fail because I'm 2 chances stronger than him on this die. So when he rolls to see if his Intrepid works, if he rolls a 1, it's a failure. And if he rolls a 2, it's a failure. Anything else is successful. Here we go. He rolled a 2. So it is not successful. He does not equal my strength. So he has to go off his base of 3, but he's a 3. And he has 2 helpers. So that's 4, 5. So that means that he is a total strength of 5, equal to my 5. So he rolls 1 die and has to go by what happens. This could be bad. But of course not. It's really, really good. So Kyle gets the knockdown. I don't know if you can see that die. There it is. He gets the knockdown on the troll. The bull has to follow because he has a skill called Charge that forces him to follow. Now he rolls to see if he breaks the armor. He only rolls a 4. He doesn't have power strike, so that would have only been 5 anyway. And so he fails there. And now you're allowed to basically jump on one person. Oh, I turn them sideways when I've used them. That way I know not to try to use them again. You're allowed to basically hit someone while they're down every turn. And so he's going to bring his speeder around 2, 3, 4. He's going to come over here on this side of my ogre. And that speeder is going to try and injure my ogre. And all he does is just roll against my armor since I'm already laying down. He rolled a measly 3, so that's not going to be good enough. You're also allowed to blitz with only 1 player per turn. Now, there are some exceptions. There are teams that have free blitzers that don't count as your 1 blitz, even when they blitz. but neither of these teams have that. And so a blitz means that you move and then you're allowed to attack someone after that. He doesn't have anyone that's a great candidate for a blitz right now, but he might in a second. His bull is outpowered. That's not good. He doesn't want to jack with my Minotaur because he's terrifying. So I think he is going to blitz this Dasher to the Black Warden. It's 3-on-3 strength-wise, so 1 die. And they're both going to go down. Let's see, his Dasher does not have defend, and neither does my Warden. So they do both go down. And now he gets to roll my armor, and then I have to roll his armor since they both fell. Kyle rolls mine first. He rolls an 8, which is good enough to break my armor. So now my character goes face down. The best that can happen, as far as I'm concerned, is that he doesn't get any worse and he just stays stunned. But we're about to find out. So at this point, after you break someone's armor, you come to this armor broken chart right here. And that tells you, based on what your next roll is of 2 dice, it tells you what's going to happen to that character. Now, if you end up in the 10 or 12 area, that means that it's going to require a 3rd roll. You go to the serious injury chart, and that's what all can happen in that case. So at this point, we're just on this roll because he broke my armor. And here we go. Oh my gosh. Oh, can y'all see that? That's an 11. Yeah, you can. So now we're going to go. So my guy is off the field no matter what. We're going to stand him there. And now we go down to this last chart, and that's what Kyle's going to roll on to see how bad this injury is. It's an 8. So my character has a slip disc. He's out for the game, and he loses a strength point. Now that's permanent. I am now permanently down to 2 strength on that Black Warden. I would mark that on my team sheet. Since this isn't an official game, I'm not actually going to mark it. And Kyle would receive 3 points for causing that injury to my player. And so that counted as a slip disc. It was an 8. Slip disc out for the game, -1 strength. So that's Moss to Replay for me. But luckily his Dasher went down 2. Now I get to roll against Kyle's armor, against that Dasher's armor with the guy that he just injured. So here we go. I only rolled a 6. That's not going to be good enough. So that's the end of Kyle's turn. Once you fail at something so bad that one of your characters falls down, you typically end your turn right there. There are only 1 or 2 exceptions to that. Since Kyle's done, he turns his characters back to the front. And now it's my turn to go in the second half of the first turn. So first, I will stand up my Troll and my Ogre. I could blitz with one of them, but I don't want to because I want to blitz with my Minotaur. My Minotaur has horns on his head, and when he blitzes, that means that he gains +1 strength, so it makes him a 6 instead of just a 5. So he's a really, really good blitzer. And so we definitely want to use the blitz with him. And I think that that's what I'm going to start with, is blitzing with my Minotaur. So we're going to blitz this speeder. So blitzing means move 1 or more, obviously, and then attack. So here we go. Moving 1, and now I'm attacking that speeder. My strength is a 6. Whoops. I hate it when that happens. My strength is a 6. His strength is a 3. So that's only 2 dice. Now, if this Ogre had cover, he would be able to help me on this attack, and I would get another die, because when you're more than double, you get to roll 3. But I'm not double, I'm not more than double, I'm just double, so I'm only rolling 2. Here we go. And I definitely got him. Does he have a void? Speeders do not have a void. He goes down, the Minotaur has to follow. Now we roll his armor. Now my Minotaur, here's why he's so scary. He has Power Strike, which is going to add 1 to this roll. He has Barbed, which is also going to add 1 to this roll. And he has Power Strike 2, which means if I'm successful in breaking this guy's armor, which is only an 8, I get another 1 added to my next roll. So here we go. Oh my gosh, what an abysmal roll. I rolled a total of 3. So even with my bonuses, it's only 5. So that was an utter failure. And I have this Black Warden left. I don't think that I'm going to use him in that one-on-one fight with the Bull. The Bull's a little bit better than I am. He's got better armor. So if we both go down, I'm in trouble. So we're just going to end my turn there. And that's the end of turn 1. Kyle scored 3 points. I scored 0. and I'm also down a player, so it was a really bad first turn. So here we go to turn 2. Kyle's going first. He stands up his speeder. He's also going to stand up his dasher and move him 1 space. So standing up only costs you 3 movement points, and dashers come with 7, so that's not going to be an issue. He only moves 1 after that. And I need to fix that too. Sorry, I'm fixing the stuff that was wrong on the character sheet there. And now Kyle is going to use his bull to blitz my warden. So the bull is a 3, the warden is a 3, and the dasher is a the bull, yeah, and the dasher is helping the bull. So Kyle counts as a 4 while I'm still just a 3. So he gets 2 dice because he's stronger than me. And they're both knocked down unless I have a void, and I'm fine with that. He's gonna push him there. There we go. And now he rolls his armor. He doesn't get any bonuses on this roll. He only gets a 6. So that's done. He still has 2 characters that haven't gone, a bull and a freak, and he really needs the freak to get involved here. So the freak's gonna step forward and hit my ogre. This is his 1 blitz for the turn. It's 7 strength to 5, so he rolls 2 dice. Oh, and all he gets is a push. So he will push, and now he will move the freak in to tie up my Minotaur and my ogre because he's stronger than both of them, even if they're helping each other. Even if the Minotaur blitzes and gets his bonus point, with the ogre helping, that still only makes us even, and those are pretty good odds for him. And now his bull is going to go after my yeah, he is. He's going to go after my troll. And so once again, he needs to try to equal my strength with his intrepid skill. So if he rolls a 1 or a 2, he fails. Anything else is successful that he equaled my strength. And he did. He got a 6. But unfortunately, his speeder can't help because my Minotaur is in the speeder's zone. He's in his attack zone. So his speeder can't offer help against that troll. So it's only 1 die since we're tied. And we both go down again. The way Kyle's turn is ended for 2 turns. Kyle rolls my troll's armor first. Fails. He only got a 7. Now my troll rolls Kyle's armor and only gets an 8, which is not good when the guy's armor is a 10. So that's the end of Kyle's turn. And we'll straighten his characters. Boom. Man, I hate it when I drop these. Boom, boom. That one goes there. That one goes there. There. And now it's the beginning of the second half of the second turn, which makes it my turn. I will begin by standing up my Black Warden because he at least needs to be standing. There is a rule that if you could have stood up a player during the game and you didn't, and your turn ended and that player was still laying down, but he could have stood up, you give the other team 3 points. And that's 3 points on the scoreboard plus 3 points of experience that he can put on any of his players that he wants to. So you do not want to risk leaving characters on the ground if you can help it. So I'm going to go ahead and stand up my troll, and I'm going to use him to foul Kyle's bull. Now his bull has a 10 armor, so this is unlikely to work. I have to roll a 10 or better, and I failed miserably. I rolled half that of a 5. But now my troll is in a position to help out my big guys up here. So I am not going to mess with his freak, though. The Minotaur is going to blitz the speeder. And the reason I'm blitzing is because at that 6 strength, with my troll helping, I now will get to roll all 3 dice against that speeder because I'm technically a 7 now, and the speeder's only a 3, so I am more than double. And Kyle's freak doesn't count because my ogre is touching him, and his freak doesn't have a skill that bypasses that. So here we go, all 3 dice. Got him. Speeder goes down, Minotaur has to follow. Now we roll against his armor. We got an 11. We definitely broke the speeder's 8 armor with that 11 roll. So once again, we're now on this roll right here, the armor broken roll. And I rolled an 8. It's 2 4s, but I have Power Strike 2, so I get to make it a 9, which keeps me in the same thing, but it's a knockout. So my Minotaur gains 2 points. My team gains 2 points. Kyle's player gets knocked out and stays over on the sideline until he wakes up and gets back on the field, which we can go over in a minute. And now because I blitzed, I've only made one attack. So one movement is gone out of my Minotaur's 5. So I can move 4 more times. That was 1, 2, 3, 4. And if I wanted to move further, I could, but I'd have to roll to make sure I don't fall down, and I don't want to do that. I'm going to leave my ogre tying up Kyle's freak, and we're going to end my turn here. So that's the end of turn 2. Now Kyle is up 3-2, but at least I finally scored 3 and 2. And now it would be his turn to start turn 3. So Kyle, like I, doesn't want to risk letting the other team score free points, so he stands up his bull first. He's going to take a shot with his freak against my ogre. He rolls 2 dice because he's stronger. He gets a push. And over here, he's got me outnumbered again. So his bull is going to go after the black warden. Now this is a risk, and you'll see why possibly in a minute. Nope, no risk. He took him down. Boom. The bull has to follow. I'm going to pick it up and roll my armor. My armor's an 8. Oh gosh, he already got a 6. Add to that a 4. He rolled 10, so he definitely broke my armor. Now he rolls again. We now go to this chart. And so here he goes. He rolled a 9, so he knocked him out. Kyle scores 2 points. His bull also gets 2 points of experience. And my guy is now knocked out off the field. And now he can do whatever the heck he wants to with his dasher. He doesn't want to take him over to that Minotaur and Troll, I know that. Although he could use it to keep his freak protected. 1, 2, 3, that's what he's going to do. That way, if my Minotaur comes up the back, he can't just get a free shot on the freak. So there we go. That's the end of Kyle's turn 3. And at the end of his turn, his knocked out player who did nothing this turn flips over, and now he's face up. And now next time Kyle takes a turn, he can first roll to see if that guy wakes up. And there's a 50-50 chance of a wake up. You basically roll a d6, and on a 4, a 5, or a 6, that player wakes up and comes back into the game immediately. But when they come back, they always come in your dugout, which are these yellow colored sections here at the back. So he would come in Kyle's dugout back there. So here we go. My turn, second half of turn 3. Let's do what Kyle was afraid I was going to do. Troll to the bull. I am a total of 6 versus his 3, so I'll roll 2 dice. Oh, that was terrible. They both go down. That's the end of my turn. Now I get to roll his armor first. I rolled a total of 8, which does not equal or beat his 10. His bull rolls against my troll, who's a 10, or a 9, actually. Is he a 9? Yeah, he's a 9. And Kyle fails. He rolled an 8 total. So that's the end of that. My black warden that got knocked out a minute ago now flips up, just like Kyle's speeder did. And now my next turn, I have a chance of him waking up. And that's the end of turn 3. Kyle scored 2 points that turn, and I scored none. So I'm down 5-2. Here we go. Starting turn 4. At the end of this turn, we'll be halfway through the first half. But here we go. Turn 4. Kyle's going to first roll and see if his speeder wakes up. So he has a 50-50 chance. He needs a 4, a 5, or a 6. He rolled a 3, so he failed. His speeder does not wake up, so he stays right there. He'll stand up his bull. He'll use that bull to foul the troll. That does not count as a blitz because hitting someone who's already down just doesn't take an action. It doesn't count as a blitz. He rolled snake eyes, so he definitely did not succeed in that. Next, his freak is the only one that really outmuscles me. He's going to use the freak to hit my ogre again. That's 2 dice. Got him. Now, the way this is situated, see, there's nothing behind. This is technically not part of the field. The dugout is the last part of the field. And there's not any direction for my ogre to go. Because when you hit someone and you push them back, which is what those attacks do, you can only push them in the general direction that you started the hit. So you could push them back here, or back there, or back there. And that's it. You can't go any other direction. You can't pull them back toward you, more or less, is what I'm getting at. So when he knocks my ogre down, he also pushes him off the field. And so now he's going to roll my ogre's armor. Now here's the good part. Since my ogre is off the field, if he gets stunned, he automatically wakes up and can go back on the field during my turn. If it's worse than that, then he suffers whatever happens that's worse than that. So here we go. Here's the armor. Nope. 4 does not break, exceed, or beat my 9. So my ogre is fine. On my turn, he's going to come back into the game. So what I'm doing is I'm standing him up back here behind my dugout so I can remember that. He's going to come in on my turn. And Kyle just used his freak. He's only got the dasher and the bull left. He does not really want them to get involved with my ogre or my troll, to be honest with you. He doesn't really want them getting involved with any of my bigger guys. So he's going to move them. That's the end of his turn. He's got all his guys in a pod right there. Now it's the second half of turn 4. Kyle didn't score any points. We're going to see if my black warden that got knocked out earlier can wake up. Remember, a 4, 5, or 6 failed. Rolled a 3. So my guy stays on the sideline. But my ogre gets to come back immediately. And instead of locking him up with that freak, I'm going to bypass him and get him involved with these smaller guys. I will first stand up my troll, who's in the middle of all that. I will then attack with my Minotaur. I'm not going to blitz this time because I want to save the blitz for my ogre. I got a knockdown right there. Grab that one. So the bull goes down. The Minotaur has to follow. Armor check. Failed. And now my ogre will blitz his dasher right here. My 5 strength versus his 3 is 2 dice. Dashers do have a void. Oh, crap. They come with a void. So this normally knocks people down, but if they have a skill called avoid, it does not. So I have to push him back there. I'm going to go ahead and follow him out. And that's the end of my turn. Boom, boom, boom. Now, that's the end of turn 4. Kyle's team is still up 5-2. And I think you have a pretty good idea of how this game works. Now, here's the kicker. This game continues until 16 turns, but there's an intermission at halftime where you reset the teams, and the team who had to go second during the first half gets to go first during the second half, if it goes that far. So if it goes past turn 8, turn 9 is a brand new reset. Everyone sets up in the middle again. Let me move the players so you can see that. And what that means is, so these red and black hexes in the middle, each team must put at least 2 players in one of those. It doesn't matter which one, but you have to have at least 2 players up there at the midline of the field. That way it forces you to fight with each other. And so in the second half, I would get to go first since Kyle went first in the first half. However, a game is also over. And let me finish my first thought. And so in that case, where we go to the second half and we keep fighting, basically the team that wins is the first team, the team that gets through turn 16 with the most points. Every time something happens, every time you injure another player, you score points for your team. So earlier when Kyle injured one of my players, he scored 3 points. And so at the end of that round, he had 3. Then he scored none, so he still had 3. He scored 2 with a knockout, so he ended that round with 5. And then he scored none. In my case, I didn't score any in the first quarter, or first turn. I scored 2 in the second with a knockout, and I haven't scored since then. But what's important is that none of that matters if a team gets a kill and that kill sticks. What I mean by that is if my Minotaur, for instance, hits this dasher and knocks him down, and I go through my rolls and I first break his armor, right? And then we go to this roll. And let's say on this roll, I score the big fat 10 through 12. So a good old 10 right there. And then that makes me go down to the serious injury chart so we can find out what happened. If I roll another 10 through 12, his player is dead. Now at that point, Kyle would be allowed to use his cleric since he has one. And a cleric has a really good shot at reversing it because it's a neat way that clerics work. So the way clerics work in this game is when you use one, you'll generally only use it for a serious injury that knocks a player out of the game or for a death. And here's how it works. In the case that Kyle used a cleric on that dasher, we would still consider the dasher's armor broken, but I would be forced to start over on this roll again. And so I would have to get another 10 through 12 and another 10 through 12 for it to finally count as a death, if I could do that. Now, my player and my team still scored those 5 points for getting the kill, but now I'm having to see if the kill's going to stick. And that's what I mean. That's what I meant earlier when I said if the kill sticks, if it actually sticks through a cleric and whatever other skills may affect that. If the say I just roll like a 1 or something like that, the second time, or a 2, I mean, since it's 2 dice, and that just means a stun. Well, his player's already off the field because I killed him. And so if I roll a stun after that point, then he just comes right back on Kyle's turn. But I still got the 5 points on the scoreboard and 5 experience points for my character. If something else happens throughout that, say it turns into a knockout instead, or it becomes another serious injury, and I knocked an armor off the guy or a strength or something that Kyle just doesn't like he'd rather not have that player, and he really doesn't, let's say it was his freak, especially if it was his freak that I just killed, and then it turns out his freak lost an armor or lost a strength, Kyle may actually rather that player be dead and just go ahead and end the game right there so he doesn't lose other players or get injuries on other players. And so he can actually choose between the 2 results which one he wants. He could take the death, which means I would win the game and get more bonus points than him, but he would still get some bonus experience based on the number of rounds left. That's all covered in the rule book. I don't want to get too far into the weeds here. But he would get to choose which of the 2 results he wanted if he used a cleric. So anyway, if a player stays dead, if a player is killed and stays dead, then the team that caused that death wins the game. Even after that 5 points, they're still behind on the scoreboard. So even if they're losing, they're still going to win if they get the kill. And so that's the whole name of this game. You're really jockeying to try to kill one of your opponent's players. That is the main goal most of the time when you play this game. If you get the kill, you get the win. In almost every case, there are 3 characters in the game who do not count toward that. And that may sound like a lot, but there are almost 200 characters in the game. So 3 people whose deaths do not end the game is not very many. It's not a good chance of that happening. So this is Bloodfist Champions. This is one version, actually, of Bloodfist Champions. This is the 5-on-5 arena combat Bloodfist Champions that you would play in a league with friends or people that you met that want to play Bloodfist with you. And you can have leagues at your local game stores or even at your house. As long as you kept score officially and did it all correctly, that league can be counted as official. So one last thing, the other versions of Bloodfist are Bloodfist Battle Royale, which allows up to 32 players to each choose one character and fight it out in a huge Battle Royale match in a different arena than this one. But you've seen that in my other video. And then lastly, there's Bloodfist RPG. This is the role-playing game book. And don't mind the character sheet sticking out of the back. I had a friend that made a character the other day. And so this isn't necessarily what it's going to look like when it's done, but this is my mock-up of it right now. And it has all the rules for playing Bloodfist RPG. Plus, it has team sheets, because when you play RPG, you have to be on a team as well. It has all of the skill sheets, all of the different teams to choose from. This is a character sheet for Bloodfist RPG as well. This is what you use for your character. And then this is scoreboards that are in the back of the book because you have to keep score of the game, when you play in the arena, whether it's Battle Royale or 5-on-5. So the RPG is complete. I've got a little bit of tinkering I need to do with it, but it will come in the box with Bloodfist Champions and with Bloodfist Battle Royale, so that you can have 3 different games in one. You will be able to play them all with one purchase. It's not going to be a cheap purchase, but compared to games with tons of miniatures or something like that, I'm going to give you 500 different standees, over 500, I believe. And that is 44 or 45 teams being represented. In fact, these aren't even all the standees for just these two teams. For example, this team right here actually has all of these as well. It's more Black Wardens, so you can technically field a team of 8 Black Wardens if you want to. You'd be silly to do it, but you can. I've already got some of the other teams finished too. Most of you guys have probably seen the artwork for the Vikings. They're really, really cool. I've had these for quite a while. These are all the different Viking characters. These are the Imperial Legion characters. They're also really neat. And so all of these teams are already finished, just waiting for the rest of the teams to get done. Here's the Plains Legion team, the Ogre, the Swordsman, the Archer, their Guard, their Paladin, and then we have the Demonic team. There's the Nightmare, the Kappa, the Imp. Lots of imps. You can have tons of imps. The Succubus, the Jikaninki. The Rat Horde team is also finished. Here's their Were-Rat, Sewer Raider, their Tunnel Racer. They can have 2 of them. Their Crossbow Rat. And then their Scudlers, that's their basic character that they can have 8 of. The Gray, it's a team of statues brought to life by magic. The Angel, the Warrior, the Scholar, and then they're allowed to have up to 8 Gargoyles. The Giants. The Giants are a very different team than most. The Giants are only allowed to put 3 players on the field when all the other teams are allowed to have 5. Giants are only allowed to have 3. And where every other team can have 8 total players at any time, Giants are only allowed to have 4. The reason is their players are huge. Here's the Swamp Giant, the Cloud Giant, and then you're allowed to have up to 2 Rock Giants on your team. So there's 2 of them there. Here's the Dark Lord team featuring the Minotaur, 2 Black Warriors, and then up to 8 Black Rams. And then the Samurai, I've had them for quite a while too. They're Clan Champ, they're Clan Warriors, they can have 2 of them. They're Ronin Brawlers, they can have 2 of them. And then the rest are all Ashigaru. You can have up to 8 of them. So the artwork is moving forward on this game. It's just taken longer than I'd hoped. But Ashley St. Clair is currently doing a great job on it. She's been really good at getting these pumped out much faster than we've gotten them before. And so the faster these go through, the sooner you'll see more of it. Thank you for checking out this video on Bloodfist Champions. And thank you so much for being a part of my YouTube channel. I really, really, really appreciate you guys that watch these videos. To find out more about my games and see what's coming down the pipe for Warrior with a Pen games. There is nothing better than having people that are devoted and want to see what's coming and are excited about what's coming. You can actually go check this game out on its pre-launch Kickstarter page right now. And I'll leave a link below for that. So check out the info on this video for that. You can also get links to my other pre-launch Kickstarter pages for other games that are coming out. That includes Hunting the Tiger of Kai and Hatamoto Rivals. And if any more come around soon in the future, I'll of course add those links down there also. If you have any comments, please leave them. I love to answer questions. I love to read you guys' comments, and I will definitely get to them as fast as I can. Also, be willing to look for me at conventions. If you go to Comic-Cons or board gaming conventions or any of those, I'm trying to get more of those in this year so that I can sell more games, because Daimyo Senso is currently for sale. And if you'd like to pick up a copy, go to my website at www.warriorwithapen.games and check out the game there. It's a great strategy game for up to 8 players with multiple ways to play, so that you can really custom tailor it for little kids or for people who are really into strategy games. You can make it as easy or as difficult as you want. And it's all in the rulebook on how to do that. So thank you so much. I hope to see you soon again here at the gaming table. And man, happy gaming to all of you. Thanks.